Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today, we have a pretty interesting episode for you guys that we definitely want you guys to stick around for. So make sure you go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, this morning I was doing some research, and I stumbled upon an article from CBSSports.com. And in that article, what they were doing was they were essentially ranking the 100 best players going into this particular NBA season. This is standard practice. This is what most sports media companies do, and we're probably going to put a similar list like that together before the season starts. Probably not a top 100 players list, but we'll probably do something similar to MVPs and all of that stuff. And as I was going through the list, I saw that they had Russell Westbrook ranked as the 98th best player in the NBA, right? And ESPN, I believe, has Russell Westbrook at the 65th best player in the NBA. And when I saw that, I immediately thought about Skip Bayless. No one in the media, and I mean nobody, has annoyed me more than Skip Bayless over the last few weeks, if I'm being honest with you. If I'm being totally honest with you, no one has annoyed me as much as Skip. And the constant shaming and bashing of Russell Westbrook is becoming childish, and it's flat out corny at this point. Russell Westbrook has turned into a punching bag for Skip Bayless. And frankly, some of his takes, especially his recent takes on Russell Westbrook, are just flat out wrong-headed. Totally wrong-headed, and I think a lot of it is just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, and I think Skip at this point is actually picking on Russ. He's no longer really critiquing him. Now he just picks on the guy on a daily basis. And yesterday's show was yet again another example of this. Now, the backdrop of this, what they were talking about of this conversation, was basically Skip and Shannon were talking about the Lakers recently acquiring Dennis Schroeder to join the team again, right? So that's the backdrop of what they were talking about. And during that conversation, Skip saw another opening to take another shot at Russell Westbrook.
So the point is, then he tries to play the field again, and his free agent market has so dried up that he crawled all the way back to L.A. and took minimum to play for the Lakers,
yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so that's that guy's position right now. And the other guy they just signed, Patrick Beverley, is on his fourth team in 2 years. And yet, here's the painful and sad irony of this. Right now, as is, those two players individually, they're better than Russell Westbrook. I promise you, they're better basketball players right here, right now, than Russell Westbrook, who simply led the league in turnovers for much of the year until the last 3 games. He was the single worst three-point shooter in all of basketball last year, and he was the 4th worst free throw shooter. And he plays little to no defense. Well, at least Pat Bev will trick him, right?
Yeah, you see.
Okay, well, maybe at least he gives you the impression that he's doing something on defense.
Yes.
It's a lot of sis, boom, ba. It's a lot of stuff. But
smoke and mirror.
Yeah, but he gets under people's skin.
Yes.
And he distracts and he irritates. And well, okay, we get all that. I like Pat Bev. I'm glad I would want him to be on my team.
Right.
Schroeder can also be a little bit of an irritant, but he's got some quicksilver in him, some game on offense where he can be sort of a combo guard for you. He can score. He'll get you 15 in a game. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. They're both, to me, slightly more valuable than Russell Westbrook is at this stage and this age. Well, it appears to me that they're loading up so that the new sheriff in town, Darvin Ham, can play Russell Westbrook sparingly at best. And you say, well, he's not going to sit quietly. Well,
he's not.
Okay, I promise you he's going to sit. I don't know that it's going to be quietly, but they are loading up. These two guys play his position.
Yes.
They are him. They're what he does.
And what's going to be worse, Skip, forget coming off the bench. You can come off the bench as long as if you look at guys that come off the bench, they were always in the game when the rubber needed to meet the road in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
You look at from the Vinnie Johnsons, you look at the Jamal Crawfords, you look at the Sweet Lou Williams, you look at the Manu Ginobili's, all of the 6 men did what down the stretch? They played.
Absolutely.
So if I come off the bench and now you're not going to play me in the fourth quarter, what are you telling me? What value do I have?
Let me tell you something. I think that entire take was an absolute joke. It was an absolute joke. And not only was it a joke, it was dangerous. So he listed those categories to basically support the notion of why he believes Russell Westbrook is not a great player. Where did he rank in 3-point shooting? Where did he rank in free throw shooting? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so where did Patrick Beverley rank in rebounding last year in the season? Where did Patrick Beverley rank last year in assists in the NBA? Where did Patrick Beverley last year rank in scoring in the NBA? What about games played? Where did he rank in comparison to Russell? How many games did he play last year? Patrick Beverley played 54 games last year. 54, 52. Russell Westbrook played 78 games last year. Why don't we factor that in? Availability. Why don't we factor in availability? And if Patrick Beverley or Dennis Schroeder is better than Russell Westbrook, what you're essentially saying is that if you were to replace Russell Westbrook 2 years ago on the Washington Wizards with either Patrick Beverley or Dennis Schroeder, you're telling me that team makes the playoffs with those guys leading the team? You're telling me that team, like, what are we talking about at this point? Like, what are we doing? What are we trying to do? Anybody that thinks that Dennis Schroeder or Patrick Beverley is better than Russell Westbrook is a basketball neophyte, and it just shows that you're an absolute moron when it comes to talking about the NBA. You know nothing about basketball if you're going to be saying something like that. Patrick Beverley and Dennis Schroeder is better than Russell Westbrook based on what? Okay, Russell Westbrook last year had we all criticized Russell Westbrook for his play and for and for his attitude with the media. We all had our say. And a lot of it was, he deserved it. He absolutely did. But all of this other stuff that they're saying about Russell Westbrook is absolute madness and is totally, totally ridiculous. Let's go through the list quickly. Let's just talk about some of the players that they have ranked ahead of Russell Westbrook. Okay. Let's just talk about it. The CBSSports.com list. You're seriously telling me that these players, Franz Wagner, Norman Powell, Joe Harris, Bogdan Bogdanovic, PJ Tucker, Clint Capella, Nicholas Batum, Seth Curry, Brook Lopez, Kyle Kuzma, Gordon Hayward, Tyler Hero, Alex Caruso, Jordan Poole. You telling me that these guys are better than Russell Westbrook? Like, what are we doing at this point? What are we doing? What are we accomplishing here in sports media? What are we talking about? Why are they? Listen, I understand Russell Westbrook had a bad season with the Lakers last season, but last season is not going to represent Russell Westbrook's entire career. Anybody looking to do that to Russell Westbrook is flat out scapegoating him. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. Shannon Sharp, you're sitting there with your partner. He's saying all of these things. Do you really agree with him saying that Dennis Schroeder and these guys are better than? Because if you don't, why don't you stop him and say, wait a minute, Skip, I can't allow you to do this. You're going too far. You're going a little bit too far. If he says one wrong thing about LeBron, you're ready to jump up and flex and tell him all of these things that he's doing wrong. And you have every right to do that. But why are you let him get away with all of this stuff about Russell Westbrook? What are y'all trying to do? Are y'all trying to build in a narrative about this guy? Russell Westbrook at no point in his career was my favorite player, but I did appreciate what he did. That year he broke the trick was a fantastic accomplishment. Fantastic. But this is ridiculous what they're doing to Russ. Skip is childish when it comes to this type of stuff. It is childish. It is childish. The way he constantly talks about Russell Westbrook. You look like a bully. Like you're picking on the guy. Why are you doing it so much? Why? What's your problem with this guy? Or rather, what's the problem? What's the problem? You honestly believe, even when Lil Wayne was on, you honestly believe. If you honestly believe that, then you got to honestly explain why. And 3-point shooting percentage, free throw shooting percentage is not enough. You pick 2 statistics to make a point. To me, I think it has gone too far. All of this Russell Westbrook stuff about him being ranked so low, I blame Skip for most of this. Season has been over for how long? You're still bashing the guy. Why are you doing this? We would do this to no other top 75 player. Why don't they call this stuff out? Why doesn't LeBron call Skip out for this stuff? Why aren't other athletes calling him out for this stuff? To me, I think it's too much. I think Skip is going way too far, and this is childish, in my personal opinion. These are my thoughts and opinions. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments. We catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.